Thanks, Fair. Yet one thing that is not lacking in this match is experience. Both players seasoned pros, both players veterans. Ali Carter, he's got a great record at the Crucible, but Graham Dott has got the Crucible title in 2006. Is it really 15 years ago that he lifted the game's most coveted trophy?
Ali, have a good match. Graham, have a good match. The first frame. Graham Dott's a break.
I heard David Hendon quite rightly say that Graham Dott and Ali Carter would have loved to have seen a 2-all draw between Gerard Green and Shaun Murphy. That didn't come to pass. So now, the boot's on the other foot. Murphy would love a 2-all draw here. Just backtracking slightly, Stephen. Heard your comments about the previous match, and I couldn't agree more. Both players struggled. But we've seen it so often in these groups over the last 18 days. A player starts off with a less than impressive victory, but a victory at least, and builds from there. That's the most important thing. Get the 3 points on the board early.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Phil. That's really all that counts is getting those 3 points on the board. It makes a huge difference in terms of the group itself. Draws, as we saw yesterday, can make the group extremely tight. So for Shaun to battle it out there and take the 3 points, he'll be delighted with that. I think as well it's so easy for us to just assume these guys are going to perform to the highest level all the time because the standard's so good now. We sort of expect them to just not miss really, but snooker's an extremely difficult game, as we all know, and particularly in these short formats it's very difficult to hit the ground running, so sometimes you're going to have to battle it out, which is exactly what Shaun did.
And battling has never been an issue for Graham Dott. He's one of the players I admire most. He's extracted so much from his ability. He's had a great career. Won the World Championship, been in finals at the Crucible as well. Also won the China Open, so 2 ranking titles to his credit. And the way he fights, the way he grinds for every single point and every single frame, I would not discount another Graham Dott title somewhere in the future.
Nine.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you there, Phil. Graham's an exceptional battler when it comes to snooker. He's got that fire in his belly all the time, and he's so hard to get on top of. He just does not know when he's beaten, and like you say, that's why he's gone all the way. He's reached the pinnacle of the sport, winning the World Championships. He's a fantastic competitor, but as is the guy in the opposite corner, Ali Carter, another fierce competitor on the bays.
50.
And he'll be bang up for this today.
Yeah, the same goes for Carter in the bracket of players, the large bracket of players who could win any tournament they enter.
$22. $23.
Now this is table 2. We're down to the crux on the colours in the 4th frame. Ersenbach has played the better snooker, but Day could yet come out of this with a point.
30.
We'll keep you informed as to what occurs there. Day with a numerical advantage in that frame, and also the fact that the pink is tight on the side cushion, that helps the Welshman also.
$31.
Meanwhile, over here on table 1, Graham's managed to dig himself an opportunity here in this first frame. The reds are quite nicely spread for him, so a good opportunity to build some points early on,
36.
get a feel for the table in his first match. I think it's a bit of a theme, particularly in this style of tournament. This first frame is so big, and particularly if you can win it in one visit as well, keep your opponent cold in your chair. It gives you such an advantage going into the next frame.
$37.
That one's gone slightly wrong for Graham.
Blue ball.
He looked to be in two minds of what shot to play from the red, and in doing so has run out of position slightly. But he's recovered it well. The blue slapping the heart of the pocket.
It's such a lovely sight for a snooker player.
42.
Such a lovely sound as well, but I think the cue ball might have just got away from him here. I think the blue going back on its spot. Can he get through? You would think so. Yeah, he's fine.
43.
He was more concerned there with making the kiss on the black, which he worked out was unavoidable in the end, and he's judged it really nicely. In a perfect world, would have liked the black to have bounced off the top cushion slightly less, but he will gladly accept the end result.
Yeah, it's finished slightly awkward this now for Graham. I don't think any red goes into the right corner pocket unless he's somewhere near where he was just queuing up there. Might have to play a holding cannon on the red to the extreme left. And that's what he's tried.
$50.
That's his 5th half century of the tournament. He made 4 in topping Group 20 in late July. The other came CJ Hui, Julian Boyko, both 3-1, and had a 2-all draw with Robbie Williams, so came through that group with 7 points.
This This is one of those really awkward shots as a player. As you can see from the camera angle, the red clearly goes into the right side of the pocket or the left side as Graham's looking at it. But you've got to be so accurate with them, and that's why he's refusing it.
Graham Dott, 50.
I think he's working on the entirely sensible principle there, Stephen, that these pockets are tight enough when you can see the whole pocket, let alone half of it. And he's built a useful lead. It's been a while since we've seen Ali Carter here. He was involved on day 2 of the event on the 19th of July. Came through a group that included Michael Georgiou, Dominic Dale and Sydney Wilson. Played very nicely, I thought. 7 points out of a possible 9, remained unbeaten. Now this is interesting. Alexander Ursenbacher at the table. Clear chance to pot brown, which he has, then blue.
7.
As we talked about though, the pink was always going to be a potential stumbling block. He needs the last 3 colours to clinch this.
One.
The split screen here is definitely worth it, because the frame on table 2, without exaggeration, could well, in the final
12.
analysis, be a group clincher. Even this early, you get that feeling.
6.
And that was a very good safety, Stephen.
Back 12.
And that will do for day. Players have won groups after losing a match. Matthew Stevens, Peter Lyons come to mind, but it's not very often, so these are really important exchanges for Ryan Day.
30. $14. 6.
Well, what a pot that was. Arguably the pot of the week so far. Down the length of the side cushion, it was the only ball he needed. He didn't need the black. That influenced his decision to take it on. Ryan Day, just an absolutely terrific pink. And with that, well, all is good.
I count a 14.
Day salvages a 2-all draw. Stephen, that was a spectacular pot. Yeah, that's Group F. So next on over there, the other two players in that group, Ashley Hugill against 2015 world champion Stuart Bingham. That was the shot, but of course at that pace, you've got to be so accurate for the pocket to accept the red. Now then, what a shot that was. Perfect weight. And with the balls all in the open, Dott finds himself in a spot of bother. Five reds on the table here. If they were all in a mini cluster, wouldn't be that much of an issue, but where they are,
foul, the miss. Ali
well, Dott needed something extraordinary there. He's given 6 points away and an opening red that should be no problem.
Yeah, he was in such a pickle there, Graham. Great shot from Ali to find coverage in behind the green or brown. Big target, them two sat up on the baulk cushions.
What?
And now Ali's carved a chance out. And all of a sudden Graham's 50-point lead earlier on in this frame could soon be diminished here.
8. 9.
'Hits the ball with such authority, does Ali. He's got a really nice cue action. If there's any aspiring young players out there watching, he'll not go far wrong if he was to mimic the guy at the table here. Really solid on the shot.
60.
Yes, and forget the scoreboard, even though Carter trails here. He's very much the favourite. No solace for Graham Dott.
23.
All the balls ideally placed for Carter's counter.
24.
Yeah, he's just working out his route here, Ali. Just weighing up his options. But that one's gone slightly astray. Didn't want the cannon
29.
on the red. And now he's put himself under a bit of pressure here, and he'd be really disappointed with that. We can see from his body language there. He's annoyed at that one.
Yeah, anticipated swinging the cue ball wider, much wider than he actually did.
Cheers, Alec. Thank you. Alec Carter. 29.
Not really close.
Well,
Oh, that was a peach, especially to avoid the blue with the cue ball.
Yeah, really good pop from Graham across the table there. Judged it nicely. And now the ball's at his mercy. Green and brown.
6.
Quite nice for the clearance. The green being where it is makes it simple for Graham to just hold the white where the green ball is. Leave himself an angle to get back up for the blue.
8. 11.
And being 12 points in front, only brown and blue are required.
$15. 20. 26 on the first frame. Graham Dott.
Wee Dotty has come up big in the opening frame. Carter had his chance, but the poor positional shot onto the last red ultimately cost him dear. The Scot leads the Englishman by a frame to 0. The length of the side cushion. I can tell you the second match is underway over there in the embryonic stages of that contest. Ashley Hugill, for what it's worth, is 20 points ahead with 11 reds left 20 points ahead in the first frame against Stuart Bingham. If you want to see all of the Table 2 action, it's available on matchroom.live. And the news this morning is that matchroom.live are going to sponsor next week's tournament here, the British Open. And my co-commentator gets to kick things off, I believe. You're involved on Monday morning, aren't you, Steve?
Yep, bright and early first thing, 9 o'clock Monday morning, against local lad Joe O'Connor. Looking forward to getting back out playing again. And talking of the British Open, I think it was the tournament that Graham Dott made a 147 in back in 1999, so sure he will have some fond memories of that.
It was partially televised. We caught up with Graham when he was on the brown. So brown, blue, pink and black.
Safety shot from Graham gone astray there, which has handed Ali with a first chance here in this second frame, having to get the spider out.
Cheers, Ali. Thanks.
But negotiated it well. He's nicely on the black.
What?
He's just looking at this red to the bottom of the pack there to see if it will pass into the left corner pocket. If it will, it could be a good chance later on to perhaps bring a few more reds into play should he need to. It's very tight, I'm not too sure if that does go.
Eight. Nine.
You're right, Stephen. That really is just a judgment call. My commentary colleague Neil Folds, who is absolutely superb in the commentary box to work with, he always says players should come and look from pocket side back to give themselves a better perspective.
Yeah, it's one of those really awkward occasions where perhaps the red does go, but maybe just to one side of the pocket. Ali must feel it does. You might see him pop this to the left side of the pocket as Ali's looking at it, right side for us. But the jaws are playing nippy and he's going to have to be very accurate with this. A little wry smile from Ali.
Yeah, and the jaws are playing nippy, you're right. The near jaw in particular. I think he's trying to convince himself that one would go when perhaps it wasn't prudent. Rich history between these two. They've played each other twice before in the Championship League. Carter's won both encounters 3-0 and 3-1. As for the head-to-head overall, well, that's 6-5 in favour of Dott. Their first meeting, Stephen, was 20 years ago. And funnily enough, it was in the British Open. Quarter-final, Dott prevailed 5-3. He's also beaten Carter twice at the Crucible. 13-11 in the last 16 in 2011. And 10-7 in the first round in 2017. Mind you, a year later, Carter got revenge, beating Dott 10-8 in the first round at the Crucible from 8-7 down. Basically, nothing to choose between them.
Foul and a miss. Ali Carter 4.
He was up off the shot quick there, Graham. Knew straight away as soon as he made contact with the cue ball that it was miles too short.
Yeah.
But no damage done. Rob Spencer, the referee, being asked to replace the cue ball.
Okay. Bit more that way.
Because I can actually see, initially I was looking to see if that was a plank, so I can see that like full.
Right, so it's, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Ollie? Yeah, thank you.
At the end of today, we will know one entire group on finals day. Already through, Chow Yu-Peng and Dave Gilbert impressively yesterday, and the two group winners today will join them in one group on the day when the trophy will be handed out. With reflection, Stephen, I think both group winners yesterday will be absolutely delighted with the way not only things went, but the way they played. Dave Gilbert, 1-4-3 and 1-3-1 breaks. Chow Yu-Peng potting some absolutely terrific balls.
Yeah, I think Gilbert was definitely the star of the show yesterday. He looked so impressive. Dictated the group right from the off. And making two fantastic total clearances, including the 143, which is the tournament high break. It was a great day's work for Dave, but I must say I was so impressed with Chow Yu-Peng. I think how he's conducted himself so far on his return to the tour, it's commendable. He looks like he's ready for his return. He looks sharp, and he looks like he's got the desire to go far. So I wish him all the best. He looks very solid.
One.
Obviously been putting the work in the last few years, and he'll be looking forward to having a good year this year.
And this was a solid pot, wasn't it, from Carter? He's also been practicing, he told us, when he came through his group early in the tournament. He set himself goals for this season, one of which is to win a tournament. And no one would be surprised if he were to win this one. He's been a Championship League stalwart over the years, played so much snooker in the tournament, right from the very first year.
Three.
A nicely judged positional shot there from Ali, just coming across the face of the Reds there to leave himself a couple of options. It's not a straightforward chance this, black tied up into both corner pockets. pink is potable.
Four. Green ball.
He's just losing the cue ball a touch here in the early exchanges of this frame, Ali. He's probably a couple of shots away from being in perfect position. But it can soon become a bit of a snowball
7.
effect, not keeping a close control of the cue ball.
Eight.
What a start it looks like being for Ashley Hugill. Barring something truly remarkable, he's going to take the first frame from Stuart Bingham.
52.
Had his hair dyed blonde during the Euros, and he said that he's not going to change it back while he's still in this tournament.
40.
So one of the more surprising group winners in the initial phase, continuing the good work.
$15.
Yeah, I know Ashley very well. Grown up together through the amateur ranks, and he's a proper grafter on the table, is Ashley. He works very hard at his game, puts all the hours in under the sun, and it's good to see him start this season well. As Ali plays a lovely cannon into the cluster of reds there off the green, judged it really nice.
80.
Didn't he just, Stephen? What a great shot this was. The only negative, the black has become even more hemmed in. But he's got plenty of alternatives.
19.
Yeah, and Ali's ever-growing lead here, it won't bother him that the black's tied up now. The balls have been so awkward for him this break. He's had to battle, but he's still going, he's still at the table. There's enough reds in open play for him to go on and win this frame.
The last thing he wanted to do on the previous red was overscrew it, and actually he's been a little too tentative and underscrewed it.
$25.
He's going to have to find a path between the reds. Play around 2 cushions, maybe 3.
26.
Judged it well. Nicely back on the pink.
$32. $33.
So a 51-point lead for Ali here. He's going to need 2 more reds with colours. And if he goes on to win this frame from here. This has been a good contribution from Ali. They've
39.
been straightforward. He's had to battle for these points. But he's a good battler.
$40. 46. $47.
Some breaks are gift wrapped. Others have to be dug out of the dirt. This is the latter. Hard working effort. And a frame winning effort.
53. 54.
Could Carter go on to make what would be the 50th century of the tournament so far? Given where the Reds are, it's very much odds against. But you never know with him.
61.
Yeah, those two Reds on the left side of the table both go into right middle.
62.
If he was looking for an angle on the blue there to drop him behind it. He's finished a bit straight. Could be the brown round 3 here, just missed the green.
Ali Carter 62. And the
No century. The break ends at 62, but that's more than sufficient. Graham Dott on the first frame with a last red to pin clearance, but Carter, much more fluently, is back on level terms.
frame. Graham Dott to break.
We were prepared for keenly contested, and that's what this match is turning out to be.
The attempt at the long red there from Ali didn't get close to it. So he's handed these on a plate for Graham. As we have a look at that long red attempt. Yeah, knew straight away he was up off the shot. And there's a red just on the black spot here, so Graham straight away choosing to remove that, allowing for the black to then... Oh, he's missed the red. Yeah, that's an unexpected miss that from Graham. Good opportunity there.
Yeah, he was stretching, but even so, surprising. Not the tallest player, Dott. Most players would have reached that comfortably, but stretching meant his balance was perhaps compromised.
Well,
And to get away with that, Carter, he must feel blessed.
Yeah, he's had a right touch there, Graham missing that red. I'm sure Ali wouldn't have expected to be back to the table so soon. He's going to have to refocus now, and these balls are nicely spread, so we're looking to just pot a few here, get some focus back, and it's a good chance.
rightly, given that he's been an ever-present in this tournament over the years. Ali Carter is known as Mr. Championship League.
8.
And yet, you know, he's never won it. Came close in 2013, losing in the final 3-2 to Martin Gould. As for Graham Dott, similar kind of story really, as Carter gets a good kiss there. Dott, his name doesn't appear on the Roll of Honour, but he has been runner-up. Just before the pandemic hit, early last year, lost in the final to Scott Donaldson. That tournament was played upstairs in the rooms that are now being used as the practice tables.
12. Seventeen. Eighteen. Right. 25. 26. 33.
A nice shot there from Ali, choosing to go into the reds, playing it with screw to bring the white in and out of the pack. Judged it really nice, and now he's got a shot of this red to the middle to keep the break going.
34.
I just get the impression with Ali Carter, he's realised that he's got to a point in his life where he knows he's not going to be able to play top-level snooker forever. And he's made a decision to try and get the best out of himself while he's still in his prime. Seems to be back in love with the game. He's practising hard.
39.
And on that basis, he could be a real threat as the season progresses.
Yeah, and every credit to Ali, you know, he's had his own issues with his health in the past. He's persevered well, and you wouldn't know that he was struggling. But he conducts himself well, like you say, he works hard, and he's such a dangerous player. He's a world beater on his day.
46.
Technically he's fantastic, and he can score really
47.
heavy as well. Some really key ingredients to be a top snooker player, as he's been for a number of years now.
I think the latter is key, I really do. He told us after he came through his previous group that he was determined to play more
50.
expansive, aggressive snooker. Yes, he's done well in certain tournaments,
54.
particularly the World Championship, where he's played a hit and run kind of game. Safety first, as it were. But I think this is where he's at his most dangerous.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Phil. The modern game now is all-out attack.
60.
I don't care who you are or how you play. To be a top-class snooker player now, you've got to score. It's all well and good having a safety game, but if you get a chance and you don't kill the frames off in one visit, you're not going to get very far, I'm afraid. The top guys score
61.
extremely heavily.
And after that poor miss from Dott when he was stretching over, Carter's got a very
67.
simple frame ball coming up. In it goes.
68.
Dott's seen
75.
his share of centuries. Not bothered about watching another one.
Just getting a few 40 winks there,
76.
Graham. Dropped off for a second. But no, this is much better from Ali. He's looking very fluent round the table now. He's found his rhythm. Naturally, his pace increases, as does every player's when they're in amongst the balls.
82.
Just woke up, had a little look, realised the frame was over, decided, well, get 20 more winks in.
In fairness, those seats are really comfy.
Back in the late 80s, you're not going to believe this, Stephen. There was an incident at the
83.
UK Championship where Dean Reynolds was playing Tony Chappell, and Dean Reynolds took a newspaper out to read while his opponent was at the table.
Obviously confident he wasn't going to get much table time then.
Yeah, I was really upset about that because it wasn't the
90.
paper I wrote for.
$91.
Yeah, so by reading headlines, he ended up making them.
$97.
That is a
Like
real
Castle.
pity.
97. On the front.
It was a break that deserved a century at the end of it. Not to be, but Ali Carter overall will be delighted because after losing the opening frame, he's responded excellently. He leads 2-1.
The fourth frame. Ali Carter to break.
The loss of the opening frame for Ali Carter was quite a setback. He had a great chance to steal it from well behind. Didn't obtain position on the last red. Eventually, Dott potted last red to pink to draw first blood. But since then, Carter's played nicely. Breaks of 62 and latterly 97. So now he's looking to do what Sean Murphy did in our first match today, which is to win 3-1 after losing the opening frame.
Yeah, responded really well as Ali, last two frames. Showing no signs of rolling over to losing the opener, which we'd expect from such a great player.
Tell you what though, if Dott were to win this frame and it was a 2-all draw, that would suit Murphy down to the ground.
Just wanted to avoid the contact on the brown there in playing safe, but failed to do so and has left Graham half a chance at this red. top it round 2 and finish nicely on the black. Oh, he's gone up for the blue and he's just about wriggled the red in, but he's nice on it.
I thought he hit that red quite wide considering the pace. Surprised it actually went in, Stephen.
Yeah, I think the pockets have been playing quite tight, and at pace it wouldn't have been a surprise to see the pocket throw that one out, but managed to find its way in, which Graham will be delighted about.
Well, much like the red he missed at the start of the previous frame.
6.
There, stretching over, and while he got the pot, the cannon was not what he wanted. Not that cannon anyway. More of a skim than a hit.
Graham Dott 6.
By the way, I've got some exciting news about later in the week. It has been confirmed that our popular competitions are going to be back. And the prize, how about this? 2 tickets to the final of the Champion of Champions in Bolton in November. November 21. David Hendon, our resident quizmaster, will pose the question. I think we'll start the competition on Thursday. It will run throughout the finals day on Friday, and then during the final itself we will announce the lucky winner. 2 tickets to the Champion of Champions final.
Yeah, that's a great prize on offer, Phil. Champion of Champions are a really good tournament now. I'd put it up there, with the big ones. To warrant your place in that event, you've had to win something. So a really good chance for somebody to win 2 tickets to that.
Yes, so many great tournaments on the circuit these days. Don't want to single any of them out, but I will. Just 2 that have emerged in recent years for me as absolutely massive events that weren't really on the calendar a decade ago. One, of course, is the Champion of Champions, which is a delight to be involved with. Matchroom do such a great job on that tournament. And the second one is the Tour Championship, which is such an elite tournament. The leading 8-point scorers from the season playing 2-session matches, and only the cream are invited, or only the cream earn their place there. That for me is just one of the highlights of the campaign, and it's something that all players aspire to make that Tour Championship. It's a tougher tournament to get into because only 8 players are there than the World Championship itself, or even the Masters.
Yeah, like you say, the fantastic events now, and that's why the tour is developing so much. The players have always got little incentives to play for, and the guys that are performing consistently well, if you start the season well and get some results, there's all these little added bonuses to get into the Tour Championship and the Players Championship. It's really good to aspire to get in them. Obviously you want to move up the rankings, but these little extra events, they're all good.
Now is that deja vu. Remember, in the second frame, Carter laid a terrific snooker behind the brown, which directly led to his chance.
Yeah, perfectly judged safety shot from Ali there, twice across the table. Difficult to get the pace right, but he's absolutely nailed him here. Graham looking to just clip off the red next to the pink.
Foul. Miss. Ali counts to 4. Yeah.
This is one of those occasions where you'd rather miss the red than hit it full ball or make a fuller contact. He's just looking to catch the edge of this red. Doesn't want to make too much of an adjustment.
Foul. Miss. Ali counts to 4.
Missed it by coat of paint.
Yeah.
Of course, the danger here is, Stephen, you've been in this situation on many occasions. The danger here is to over-adjust and to hit the red too thick.
Foul. Miss. Ali counts to 4. Yeah. No.
Foul.
That's non-verbal communication for... That was close.
Yeah.
That might be slightly to the right a little bit.
Touch.
Yeah, he pretty much played
Yeah,
exactly the same shot as the previous one. But yeah, he doesn't want to overcompensate here. I think he's happy to
Foul. Miss.
keep giving away these 4 points if it means eventually
Oh, it
hitting
counts to 4.
the most extreme side of the red.
Back. Yeah.
Ali having a little look there as if he was not going to put it back.
Yeah, even now, at this stage, with so many reds on the table, 16 penalty points given away by Dott is an acceptable trade-off. Better that than leaving the red on. But he's going
Foul. Miss.
wider and wider of the mark. The last 2 attempts have been no good at all.
Yeah. Graham. Okay. Ali.
Got there in the end. Made a nice contact with the red. Avoided the cannon on the blue going back up the table, so good shot from Graham, acknowledged by Ali.
I think I know the answer to this, Stephen. If you'd said to him when he was in that snooker originally, you give 20 points away, but in the end you get the cue ball back into bulk, I think he would have taken that.
Yeah, definitely. Like you say, you would rather that than make a full ball contact and leave Ali plumbing the reds. You don't mind as a player. It's probably a professional miss, really. Graham using his experience there, knowing that worst thing he could do was to make a full ball contact. So in the end, played it well. And now it's business as usual.
Foul. Ali counts to 4.
Well, that is 4 penalty points away because the red escaped the table onto the carpet. Worse still for Dott. He's put Carter right in amongst them.
Cheers, thank you. 1. 6. Seven.
The only downside to Graham giving away those early penalty points is that Ali's now able to build a bigger lead a lot quicker. As you can see, he's only 3 pots into this break, but already a 25-point lead. And there's enough open reds here for Ali to just manoeuvre the cue ball around, get nicely in amongst them again.
12.
Seems to be playing with a renewed hunger, renewed passion. He's always been very intense, but I just got the impression that over the summer he's made that conscious decision to try and get to the top of the game again.
30.
Yeah, I have to agree. He looks very focused. Looks very sharp as well. And of course, in this short format, you have to be sharp. You've got to hit the ground running. As Ali eyes up this blue, playing the cannon. Oh, he's been so unlucky
Foul.
there.
Ali counts to 13. Graham Dott 5.
Don't think he intended to make the initial contact on the pink. And in doing so has pushed the cue ball. Just wanted to miss the pink there, I think. Go through the pack of reds.
Ali counts to 13.
It happens regularly, but it doesn't stop you feeling crushed when a red goes in that instance. Well, you never want the double kiss when you're playing safe. That was a very unusual double kiss, but it's had the same effect as the conventional one. Not good. More a double contact than a double kiss.
Well,
Yeah, it was a really difficult shot Ali's attempted there, a deep screw from Bork. Never really threatened the pocket. So a chance now for Graham to eat up at his
6.
deficit here in this final frame.
Seven.
So Graham
12.
counting himself a little bit hard done by there. The reds didn't open as nicely as he would have liked.
Graham Dott 12.
Only match 2, but already You get the sense that this is a really important frame.
Yeah, he's in a bit of trouble here, Ali. Doesn't like the safety shot off the red on the black cushion. And that's why he's played the double kiss.
That shot has always been known, but it's become a lot more prevalent in recent years.
Yeah, it's quite a nice little shot to be aware of, really. You see a lot more players playing that shot now, but you never really know where the cue ball is going to end up, and that's why Graham had a chance at that red. Got close to it.
So what's happening on table 2? Well, Stuart Bingham has just missed that red as we went over, but he is 38 points ahead in what appears to have been quite a scrappy second frame. It means that Hugill needs one snooker because there's only 35 points available.
Oh, I think he's just nailed him behind the yellow there as well.
Yeah, we'll keep you informed as to what occurs over on table 2, of course, as we always do. And if you want to see the action over there, just a reminder, it's on matchroom.live. Giving you a blow-by-blow account. Bingham did escape the snooker. Like commentary on radio. I've done that, you know, snooker commentary on radio once. Don't think it would ever catch on.
No, I can't imagine it ever will, Phil, and a bit like the olden day commentary, for those watching in black and white, explaining where the object balls were. I bet that was a bit of a mission.
Yeah, like the old football radio commentaries where they used to provide the listener with a grid, and you could sort of say, yeah, the Blues in section 6 and all that kind of stuff. That would be very, very complex though, wouldn't it? What was good when we were doing a lot of radio stuff was commentating on the last few balls of a 147. That really was exciting, especially when we were up at the Crucible.
Graham's just looking here. He's eyed up a potential plant to the right corner pocket, and it looks like it feels as if he can find the gap between the red and black to maybe play it as a shot to nothing, or perhaps a shot to something should he make the plant. No, he's not got the plant, but he's got second prize. Found a good cue ball.
Well, to miss the red and then weave the cue ball in between traffic. That said though, this red with the rest is on, and Dott is pretty efficient using the rest. Oh,
Cheers, Graham. Thanks.
not on that occasion. Miles away.
Cheers, Graham. Thanks.
Struggling at the moment, and it's worth noting that he stays on this table to play the last match of the afternoon session against Gerard Green next.
What?
I was about to say Dott's spirits would be lifted if he could gain a draw, but after that pot from Carter, maybe not. Well, Bingham now is absolutely guaranteed to draw level at 1 frame each. In goes the yellow. Hugh Gill will not bother coming back to the table.
Stuart Bingham 5 and a 3.
Indeed. The youngster from York concedes. Bingham 1, Hugh Gill 1.
Nice shot from Ali there, potting the yellow into the right middle.
3. Four.
Now that looked like quite a straightforward shot, but finding the gap took some doing. And now he's obtained position on the black. He could well have a straight run in to victory.
Low. 12.
Yeah, he's just got to focus here, Ali. Just see this match out now. I think he's looked good overall and warrants a victory, but still a little bit of work to do. Just got to mind his business here. But overall, I think he's played the better of the two guys here.
20.
Yeah, spot on. So he's 34 points ahead. He needs one more red and any colour.
27. 28.
Rather unusually, Stephen, we're going to see the first two matches of this group. Both won 3-1, where the winning player actually found himself 1-0 adrift. Happened to Carter. Happened to Murphy
35.
in the first match of the day against Gerard Green. But now
36.
all doubt about this match has been removed.
Yeah, and it could set us up nicely for a group decider between Carter
Yellow
and
ball.
Murphy later, which would be an explosive match to watch.
36 the frame and the match. Thanks,
Yeah,
Graham.
they play at 5 o'clock in the
Thanks, Ali.
evening session. Right now, Ali Carter has got his first job of the day done. He's defeated Graham Dott, having lost the first frame by 3 frames to 1.